The Academy's hangar was alive with sound. Engines hummed, lights flashed across the high ceiling, and voices echoed in dozens of alien tongues. Ryan stood with his chosen team beside their ship, a sleek silver craft with wide wings that glowed, faintly. The shard pulsed in his hand as if eager. Valara walked at his side, her crystal form bright even under the hangar lights. "This ship will take you to the Red World," she said. "It will not be an easy journey, but remember, fear is natural. What matters is what you do with it." Ryan nodded, trying to keep his shaking hand steady. His team waited. The winged student, the insect-like warrior, the reptilian fighter, and two others, each different but all ready. They boarded the ship and the engines roared to life. As the Academy shrank behind them, Ryan felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. He had never left Earth expecting this. Now he was flying toward a forbidden planet, carrying the key that only he could use. The journey through space was tense. The Union had cleared a path, but rumors of hunters spread across the stars. Everyone feared an ambush. Ryan sat in the pilot's seat, though the ship flew itself most of the time. He stared at the swirling lights of hyperspace. The winged student leaned forward. "Human, do you really think you can control what waits on that world?" Ryan swallowed. "I don't know. But running from it won't stop it. Someone has to try." The reptilian warrior gave a sharp laugh. "At least you admit fear. That is honest, better than pretending." Valara, standing near the controls, watched Ryan silently. Her presence steadied him. At last, the stars stretched back into normal space. Ahead lay the red planet. It glowed against the black of space, its surface scarred with canyons and storms of dust. Lightning flashed through its dark clouds. Everyone grew silent. Ryan whispered, "So that's it." Valara's voice was calm. "Yes, the world of silence. The place the ancients locked away." The shard glowed brightly, pulling toward the planet as if alive. They descended through turbulent skies. The ship shook, alarms blaring, but they forced their way down until they broke through the clouds. The surface stretched endless and empty. Vast deserts of crimson sand, broken towers of black stone, and ruins half buried in dust. The world looked dead, yet heavy with memory. The shard glowed hotter in Ryan's hand. "It wants us to go there," he said, pointing toward a massive canyon where ruins jutted like jagged teeth. The ship landed near the canyon. The team stepped out into the dry wind. The air smelled sharp, almost metallic. They moved together, weapons ready as they entered the ruins. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the stone walls. "This place feels wrong," the winged student whispered. Ryan felt it too. The silence was heavy, as if the world itself was holding its breath. At the center of the ruins stood a vast gate of black stone, covered in glowing lines. The shard pulsed faster, pulling him forward. "This is it," Ryan said softly. He stepped closer. The gate responded, symbols lighting up one by one. The air hummed with power. Suddenly the sound of engines roared above. Ships descended. Dark, jagged ships marked with crimson light. The hunters. They landed quickly, armored figures pouring out, weapons ready. The reptilian warrior growled. "They followed us." Valara stepped forward, her crystal form glowing fiercely. "Then we must hold them here." The hunters charged, the ruins filled with fire and light. The team fought fiercely, each using their unique strength. The insect-like warrior slashed with sharp arms. The winged student struck from above. The reptilian roared and held the front line. Ryan stayed near the gate, clutching the shard. He knew the hunters wanted him most. Bolts of energy shot past him, exploding against the stone. He raised the shard. Light burst outward, forming a shield around him. The hunters staggered back, blinded by the glow. Valara's voice rang over the chaos. "Ryan, the gate will only open with you. Do not stop." He pressed the shard against the gate. Light spread across the stone, symbols blazing like fire. The ground trembled. The gate split open with a thunderous sound. Beyond it lay a vast chamber filled with blinding light. A humming presence echoed in Ryan's bones as if the planet itself had awakened. But before he could step inside, the hunters broke through. Their leader, clad in dark armor glowing crimson, strode forward. His voice was harsh. "Give me the key, human. You are nothing but a child holding power you cannot understand." Ryan's heart pounded. Fear screamed at him to run, but he stood his ground. "No," he said firmly. "This shard didn't choose you. It chose me. And I won't let you take it." The hunter leader raised his weapon. Ryan lifted the shard high. Light exploded brighter than before, flooding the canyon. The hunters stumbled back, blinded, their weapons failing. The leader shouted in rage as the light swallowed him. When the glow faded, the hunters were gone, vanished into the shadows, their ships retreating. Silence returned. Ryan fell to his knees, breathing hard. The shard dimmed, its glow steady but calm. Valara stepped beside him, her voice soft. "You faced fear. You did not run. That is why you succeeded." The team gathered around. Their eyes held respect. Even the reptilian bowed his head slightly. Ryan looked at the open gate. The chamber beyond still glowed with endless light. He didn't know what waited inside, knowledge, power, or danger. But he knew one thing. Humanity had a place among the stars. Not because they were the strongest. Not because they were the oldest. But because they never stopped trying even when afraid. He stood, gripping the shard firmly. "All right," he said. "Let's finish this." Together the team stepped through the gate. What they found inside was not a weapon, but a message. A vast projection filled the chamber, showing the ancient race that had once lived there. Their voices echoed through the light, translated by the shard. "To those who come after," the voice said, "we left this place not as a curse, but as a lesson. Power destroys those who do not respect it. Only those who understand fear and still choose hope can carry it forward." The chamber filled with images of stars, of civilizations rising and falling, of choices shaping futures. Ryan's chest tightened. He realized the shard had not chosen him for strength, but for something far simpler, his humanity. Valara's voice was quiet. "The ancients trusted your kind. Perhaps they saw what others could not." Ryan looked around at his team, each of them different yet standing together. He smiled faintly. "Then we'll prove them right." When they returned to the academy, the halls were alive with cheers. Students from every race gathered to greet them. Ryan felt heat rise in his face as they looked at him, not with doubt but with respect. The elder's deep voice carried through the hall. "The human has shown us what we forgot. That courage is not the absence of fear, but the strength to face it. Let this lesson be remembered." Valara placed a hand on Ryan's shoulder. "Your journey is only beginning, but today, you have taught the stars." Ryan held the shard high. It pulsed once, bright and strong, as if the galaxy itself had heard. For the first time since leaving Earth, he felt not small, not lost, but exactly where he belonged. Alex had never expected to share an apartment with an alien. Not in a million years. Yet here he was, standing in his small, slightly messy apartment in the city of Neoterra, waiting nervously as his new roommate unpacked. The door opened with a soft chime, and in floated Ziri, a creature of light blue skin, 4 arms, and 2 sets of large, expressive eyes. Ziri's head shimmered faintly, like liquid metal, and a faint glow surrounded their form. Alex blinked and stepped back instinctively. "Hello, human," Ziri said in a melodic voice that seemed to echo slightly in the room. "I am Ziri. I will be your roommate." Alex swallowed hard. Hi, I'm Alex. Nice to meet you. I guess we should talk about rules." Ziri tilted their head in curiosity. "Rules?" "Yes, rules are logical. Explain these rules." Alex cleared his throat. "Well, mostly about privacy. You know, personal space, knocking on doors, that kind of thing. Ziri's eyes widened, both sets of them. Ah, yes, I will obey your privacy protocols. Alex wasn't sure if Ziri understood what he meant, but he decided to give it a try. Great. So, let's start with something simple. Knock before entering the bathroom. Ziri's forearms waved in agreement. Affirmative. Alex laughed nervously, thinking that maybe living with an alien wasn't going to be that difficult. But as the days passed, Alex quickly realized that privacy meant very different things to Ziri. On the third day, Alex had decided to take a quick shower before work. He left the bathroom door slightly ajar, thinking that Ziri might knock, but Ziri didn't. Instead, a small hand appeared in the doorway. Alex yelped, "Ziri, wait, that's private." Ziri stared curiously at the human, tilting their head. "Private? Is this a ceremonial display? I sense heat waves. Fascinating." Alex waved his arms frantically. "No, not a display, just showering. Please close the door." Ziri blinked slowly, then retreated, their lips forming something like a smile. Alex shook his head, trying to calm his racing heart. He realized then that Ziri didn't have the same understanding of human modesty. It wasn't bad. It was different. A little awkward, sure, but also kind of amusing. Over the next few days, Alex tried to teach Ziri human customs. How to cook, how to fold laundry, and how to use utensils properly. Ziri learned quickly, but always in their own alien way. When Alex made spaghetti, Ziri didn't use a fork. Instead, they lifted the noodles with their 3 smaller arms, twirled them in the air, and tasted the sauce directly from the pot. "Interesting flavor molecules," Ziri observed. "These are sweet and acidic at the same time." Alex stared. You're supposed to eat from your plate, Ziri." Ziri blinked again. "Why contain it? It is more efficient to taste directly from the source." Alex groaned, but couldn't help laughing. Efficient, sure, but it's also messy, very messy. Despite these small mishaps, Alex found Ziri's presence oddly comforting. Their curiosity and intelligence were unmatched, and even their strange habits had a charm. There was something about Ziri's innocent fascination with everything human that made Alex feel special, in a way he hadn't expected. One evening, Alex sat on the couch, scrolling through his work tablet, while Ziri hovered nearby, examining a small indoor plant. "You humans consume these organisms for oxygen exchange?" Ziri asked, gently touching the leaves. "Fascinating," Alex smiled. "Yeah, plants. They help us breathe, and some of them taste good too." Ziri's eyes sparkled. "Taste good? Curious. I shall investigate further." The next morning, Alex awoke to the sound of quiet humming. He opened his eyes to find Ziri crouched over the small kitchen garden Alex kept on the balcony, examining the tiny herbs. "Good morning," Alex said groggily. "What are you doing?" "Greetings, human," Ziri replied. "I am analyzing the aromatic compounds of these plants. You humans rely on them in culinary rituals. Very efficient." Alex rubbed his eyes and sighed. "Just don't eat them all, okay?" Ziri's hands froze in midair. "Eat them all? That would be illogical. I shall consume only a sample for analysis." Alex laughed quietly. "Okay, fair enough." Later that week, Alex realized that having Ziri around wasn't just educational, it was hilarious. Ziri's attempts to navigate human life were charming, funny, and often baffling. They wore human clothes incorrectly, mixed up utensils, and sometimes tried to upgrade human appliances with alien technology, usually creating more chaos than improvement. One evening, as Alex was preparing dinner, Ziri approached with a curious look. "Human Alex, may I observe your cooking method in detail?" Sure, just don't touch anything hot," Alex warned. Ziri nodded and began hovering over the stove, their eyes scanning the boiling pot of pasta. "I detect energy transformation. Heat molecules are interacting with water molecules. Fascinating. You humans are primitive yet effective. Alex chuckled. Primitive? Hey, it works. Ziri tilted their head. Yes, functional, though your methods could be optimized. I could assist. Alex shook his head. No thanks. I like my food the human way. But despite Alex's protests, Ziri's curiosity continued to lead them into all sorts of awkward situations. Once, Ziri tried to clean the apartment using a strange alien gadget only to flood the living room. Another time, they attempted to understand human entertainment and ended up reprogramming the television to display an alien simulation of the solar system, completely replacing Alex's favorite shows. Through all of this, Alex realized something important. Living with Ziri was unpredictable, strange, and sometimes chaotic, but it was also incredibly alive. Ziri's fascination with the world reminded him of the joy of discovery, of seeing life with fresh eyes. One night, Alex was lounging on the couch, scrolling through his messages, when Ziri floated up beside him. Human Alex, Ziri said softly, I wish to understand your social protocols, your interactions with other humans, your gestures, your habits. Alex looked at them, surprised by the seriousness in their voice. You want to learn about us? Ziri nodded. Yes. I wish to integrate properly. I value this habitat you share with me. I wish to honor it. Alex felt a warmth in his chest. Well, that's actually really nice, Ziri. I guess I can teach you a few things about humans, but some things are complicated. Complicated? Ziri asked, tilting their head. Explain. Alex hesitated. Some human behaviors are about feelings, not logic. Sometimes humans do things not because they make sense, but because they feel right. Ziri's eyes glimmered. I see. A variable beyond calculation. Fascinating. Alex smiled. Yeah, fascinating. And sometimes frustrating. Ziri floated closer, their glow softening. I shall attempt to comprehend this variable of feelings. With your guidance, human Alex. Alex laughed quietly, shaking his head. All right, Ziri. We'll start slow. One human feeling at a time. As the night wore on, Alex realized that life with Ziri would never be boring. And maybe, just maybe, he was ready for the adventure. For the first time in a long while, Alex felt genuinely excited about the future. Not just because of the challenges, the confusion, or the chaos, but because he wasn't facing them alone. He had a roommate who was different, yes, but in a way that made him see the world in a new light. And deep down, Alex knew that living with Ziri was going to teach him more about humanity than he had ever expected, sometimes in the most awkward, funny, and unexpected ways. The first week with Ziri had been awkward but manageable. Alex had learned to lock the bathroom door, keep the cooking simple, and hide anything electronic he didn't want Ziri to upgrade. But Ziri was endlessly curious. And curiosity, Alex realized, was both a blessing and a curse. On a quiet Saturday morning, Alex woke to find Ziri standing in front of the mirror, wearing his clothes. Not just any clothes, his favorite hoodie and sweatpants. The alien's forearms dangled awkwardly, 2 tucked into the sleeves and 2 hanging loose at the sides. Ziri, what are you doing? Alex asked, rubbing his eyes. I am analyzing your fabric choices, Ziri said matter-of-factly. These garments are soft, they retain heat, very efficient. Alex groaned. You could have asked before borrowing my hoodie. Ziri tilted their head. Borrowing? I am conducting research. Your garments will be returned once the study is complete. Alex sighed, but he couldn't help chuckling. Fine, just don't stretch them out. Over breakfast, Alex tried to explain why humans wore different clothes. We don't just wear them for heat, he said while spreading butter on toast. Clothes can show style, mood, even status. Status? Ziri repeated, chewing on toast with obvious fascination. Your people use fabric to show dominance? Alex laughed. Not dominance exactly, But like uniforms, suits, dresses for special events. It's about how we want others to see us. Ziri blinked, both sets of eyes. Symbolic covering. Illogical, yet interesting. Later that day, Alex took Ziri to the market. He figured it would be good for the alien to see how humans lived day to day. As they walked through the crowded street, Alex noticed people staring. Not rudely, more out of curiosity. After all, not many humans had aliens as roommates. Ziri floated slightly above the ground, scanning everything. So many scents, so many voices. This market is a ritual gathering? Sort of, Alex explained. People come here to buy food, clothes, and stuff they need for daily life. Ziri drifted toward a fruit stand, examining an apple closely. Energy sphere, they said. Compact. Red. May I analyze? Before Alex could answer, Ziri bit into the apple. Peel, core, seeds, everything. Their eyes lit up. Sweet. Crunchy. Balanced with slight bitterness. The vendor frowned. Hey, you need to pay for that. Alex quickly pulled out his credits. Sorry, first time here, alien roommate. The vendor's expression softened. I see, just make sure they don't eat the whole stand. Alex sighed, handing over the payment while Ziri continued munching. Delicious energy spheres, Ziri said cheerfully. We should acquire more. After the market, Alex tried teaching Ziri how to cook properly. Okay, he said, standing in the kitchen. Step 1, wash your hands. Ziri stared. Wash? My skin cleans itself. Alex held out the soap. Humor me. Just wash. Reluctantly, Ziri rubbed the soap across their hands, then watched in fascination as bubbles formed. Remarkable. This foam, it removes residue. Exactly, Alex said. Now you're ready to cook. The lesson didn't go as planned. Ziri cracked eggs with too much force, sending yolk across the counter. They sprinkled salt as if it were glitter, coating everything. When Alex wasn't looking, they tried tasting raw flour. This powder is unpleasant, Ziri admitted, coughing. That's because you're not supposed to eat it raw, Alex said, laughing so hard he had to sit down. By the end of the lesson, the kitchen was a mess. Flour covered the floor, eggshells clung to the sink, and Ziri looked genuinely proud. Successful attempt, they said. I now understand the ritual of cooking. Alex shook his head. Not successful, but it was fun. That evening, Alex decided to teach Ziri about human entertainment. He handed them the TV remote. This is how humans relax after work. You pick a show, watch, and enjoy. Ziri pressed a button, and the screen lit up with a comedy show. Humans were laughing at jokes, and the sound of canned laughter filled the room. Ziri frowned. Why do these humans laugh? Nothing is happening. It's about timing, Alex explained. And wordplay. Humor. Ziri tilted their head. Strange. Your species finds joy in confusion. Alex chuckled. Something like that. They switched channels until they found a nature documentary. Ziri's eyes widened. Magnificent creatures. You share this planet with them? Yeah, Alex said. Animals, plants, everything. We live together. Ziri's expression softened. Your world is beautiful. I understand why you protect it. For the first time, Alex saw a different side of Ziri. Beneath the curiosity and awkwardness, the alien seemed genuinely touched by Earth's diversity. The next day, Ziri insisted on learning more human customs. They watched Alex carefully as he brushed his teeth. Strange ritual, Ziri commented. You scrub your mouth with foam daily? Yeah, Alex said, rinsing. Keeps teeth clean and healthy. Ziri nodded thoughtfully. Logical. I shall attempt it. The attempt was disastrous. Ziri squeezed half the toothpaste tube onto the brush and then tried brushing all 4 rows of teeth at once. Foam spilled everywhere, and Ziri gagged dramatically. Alex doubled over with laughter. Not like that, 1 set of teeth at a time. Ziri spat out the foam. Unpleasant, but effective. Your customs are complicated. Later that week, Alex invited a couple of friends over for dinner. He warned, Zairi beforehand. Please, try to act normal, don't scare them. Ziri straightened proudly. I will adapt. When the guests arrived, Ziri greeted them with a deep bow and a very serious tone. Welcome to our habitat. Please remove your outer coverings and align in a circle for energy exchange. The guests froze, unsure what to do. Alex rushed forward. They mean coats, just hang your coats and sit at the table, not a circle. Zairi's eyes blinked rapidly. Ah, clarification received. Despite the awkward start, dinner went surprisingly well. Ziri fascinated Alex's friends with endless questions. Why do you humans laugh when nervous? Why do you use forks instead of your natural appendages? Why do you decorate walls with flat images? By the end of the evening, the guests were laughing, not at Zairi, but with them. They found the aliens' curiosity charming. After everyone left, Alex looked at Ziri with surprise. You did pretty well tonight. Ziri tilted their head. Did I integrate? Yeah, Alex admitted. You did great. That night, as Alex lay in bed, he realized something. Ziri wasn't just learning about humans, he was learning from Ziri too. Their innocent curiosity reminded him of things he often overlooked. The taste of fresh fruit, the wonder of a crowded market, the strange beauty of everyday rituals. Life with Ziri wasn't perfect. It was messy, unpredictable, and sometimes exhausting. But it was also the most exciting thing Alex had ever experienced, and deep down, he knew this was only the beginning. By the time a month had passed, Alex felt like life with Ziri had settled into a strange routine. Mornings began with Ziri humming while analyzing sunlight through the windows. Afternoons were filled with experiments in cooking or attempts at human hobbies. Evenings were for watching television, which Ziri still didn't quite understand but always insisted on. Alex often caught himself smiling more than before. It was odd. He had expected an alien roommate to be stressful, but instead, Ziri brought a kind of energy into his life that he hadn't felt in years. But peace never lasted long. One bright morning, Alex decided to take Ziri out for a walk in the city center. You need to see more of human life, he said, grabbing his jacket. Not just markets. The city's full of energy, cars, shops, music, people everywhere. It'll be good for you. Ziri's eyes gleamed. Yes? More human observation? The two set off down the busy street. Ziri hovered slightly above the ground, drawing stares wherever they went. Children pointed, adults whispered, and vendors leaned out of their stalls for a better look. At first, Ziri seemed delighted by the attention. They waved to the children, who giggled and bowed politely to shopkeepers. But things grew tense when they reached the plaza. A small crowd had gathered around a group of protesters holding signs. Alex frowned. The signs read, Humans first, and Keep Earth ours. He felt his stomach twist. Uh-oh. One of the protesters noticed Ziri and shouted, Hey, what's that thing doing here? Ziri froze. They are unfriendly? Alex grabbed Ziri's arm. Just ignore them. Let's keep walking. But the crowd moved closer. Aliens stealing jobs, someone yelled. Why are we letting them live with us? Ziri's glow dimmed, their four hands tightened. Hostility detected. Alex stepped forward quickly. Back off. They're not hurting anyone. The leader of the group sneered. You don't know what these things are capable of. They don't belong here. Ziri's voice was calm but firm. Belonging is a concept created by perspective. I live here. I share food. I share shelter. Why do I not belong? The man scoffed. Listen to it talk, like it thinks it's human. Before Alex could reply, a bottle flew from the crowd and shattered near Ziri's feet. Ziri flinched, their glow pulsing, bright for a moment. The crowd stepped back nervously, afraid of retaliation. Alex quickly pulled Ziri away. Come on, don't react. Just walk. They hurried down the street until the shouts faded behind them. Finally, in a quiet alley, Alex turned to Ziri. Are you okay? Ziri blinked slowly. I did not expect hostility. I believed humans welcome knowledge. Alex sighed. Most of us do. But some people are afraid of anything different. They think aliens will replace us or take over. Ziri tilted their head. But that is illogical. I cannot replace what I do not understand. I only wish to learn. Alex placed a hand on Ziri's shoulder. I know, but not everyone sees it that way. That's why you need to be careful. Ziri was silent for a long moment. Then they said softly, perhaps my presence causes you danger. Perhaps I should leave. Alex blinked in shock. What? No. Ziri, don't say that. Ziri's glow dimmed even further. If humans hate me, then my existence here harms you. Alex shook his head firmly. No, you're not leaving. We'll figure this out. That group doesn't represent all humans. They're loud, but they don't speak for everyone. Ziri studied Alex carefully, as if trying to measure his conviction. Finally, they nodded. If you are certain, then I will stay. The next few days were quiet. Too quiet. Ziri no longer hummed in the mornings. They no longer asked endless questions about human customs. They spent long hours sitting by the window staring at the streets below, their glow faint. Alex hated seeing them like that. One evening, he decided enough was enough. Ziri, he said firmly, sitting across from them, you can't let a few angry people break your spirit. You've got just as much right to be here as anyone else. Ziri looked up slowly. But, am I welcome? Alex leaned forward. By me, yes. By my friends, yes. Remember when you made them laugh at dinner? They liked you, and I like having you here. You make life better even when you turn my kitchen into a disaster zone. For the first time in days, Ziri's lips curled into a small smile. Better? Yeah, Alex said. Better. Ziri's glow brightened slightly. Then I will. Try again. I will not let hostility erase curiosity. The next day, Alex invited Ziri to his workplace. He was a junior engineer at a robotics lab, and he figured it might cheer Ziri up. The moment they entered, Alex's co-workers froze in astonishment. Alex, his manager whispered. You brought an alien? Alex nodded. This is Ziri. They're my roommate. Don't worry. They're harmless. Just curious. Ziri bowed politely. Greetings. I wish to observe your technological rituals. The manager blinked, then shrugged. Well, if they don't touch anything, I guess it's fine. Of course, Ziri touched everything. Not destructively, just with endless fascination. They examined robot arms, computer terminals, and circuit boards with wide eyes. Primitive yet efficient, Ziri commented. You humans create machines that mimic life. Why not give them true life? The engineers chuckled nervously. That's not exactly how it works. But Ziri's insights soon surprised everyone. While examining a malfunctioning drone, they pointed at the circuits and said, Energy flow is uneven here. Realign the connection and stability will improve. The team tried it, and the drone powered up perfectly. Everyone stared. Alex grinned proudly. See? Told you they're smart. By the end of the day, Ziri had won over most of the lab with their clever observations and genuine curiosity. Even Alex's manager admitted, all right, maybe aliens aren't so bad. As they walked home, Alex noticed Ziri's glow brighter than ever. See, he said, not all humans are afraid. Some just need to see what you can do. Ziri's eyes sparkled. Yes, today, I felt welcome. But their joy didn't last long. That evening, as Alex prepared dinner, a loud knock rattled the door. He opened it to find two uniformed officers standing there. Alex Carter? One asked sternly. Alex nodded cautiously. Yeah? We've had reports of an alien causing disturbances in the city, the officer said. We need to speak with your roommate. Ziri floated forward calmly. I am here, the officer frowned. You need to come with us for questioning. Alex stepped forward protectively. Questioning? For what? They didn't do anything wrong. The officer didn't flinch. Sir, please step aside. We just need to make sure this alien isn't a threat. Alex clenched his fists. He glanced at Ziri, who looked back with calm but uncertain eyes. This was it, the moment that would test everything. Alex took a deep breath. If you're questioning Ziri, then you're questioning me too. We're a package deal. Ziri blinked, surprised. Their glow pulsed softly. Alex. The officer frowned. Sir, that's not how this works. It is today, Alex interrupted firmly. If you want answers, you'll hear them from both of us. The officers exchanged a look. Finally, one nodded. Fine, both of you, let's go. As Alex and Ziri walked out together side by side, Alex whispered, Don't worry, we'll get through this. Ziri's glow steadied. Together? Together, Alex confirmed, and as they stepped into the unknown, Alex realized something important. Ziri wasn't just his alien roommate anymore, they were his friend, and friends stood together no matter what. The transport vehicle hummed softly as it carried Alex and Ziri across the city. The two officers sat opposite them, their faces stern and unreadable. Alex kept glancing at Ziri, who floated calmly, their glow steady, but faint. Inside, Alex's chest tightened. He wanted to believe this was just a routine check, but the way the officers had shown up at his door told him otherwise. Finally, the vehicle stopped in front of a tall government building, gray and sharp against the night sky. The officers led them through security and down a hallway to a plain room with a table, chairs, and a bright overhead light. Wait here, one officer instructed before leaving. Alex sat heavily in a chair. Ziri floated beside him, tilting their head at the sterile walls. This chamber feels like a cage, Ziri whispered. Alex forced a smile. It's just an interview room. Nothing bad is going to happen. Just answer their questions honestly. Ziri's glow flickered faintly. Honesty is logical. Minutes later, a woman entered. She wore a dark suit and carried a tablet. Her gaze was sharp, but not cruel. She set the tablet on the table and sat across from them. I am Officer Hale, she said. You must be Ziri. Ziri bowed slightly. Correct. I am Ziri of the Tassari Collective. I reside with human Alex in his habitat. Hale raised an eyebrow at the phrasing but nodded. We've received reports of disturbances in the city. People are concerned about alien activity. I need to understand your intentions here on Earth. Ziri's voice was calm. My intention is observation and learning. I wish to study human life. I mean no harm. Hale tapped her tablet. And yet, there were complaints about you frightening citizens in the plaza. Alex leaned forward quickly. That wasn't Ziri's fault. A protest group provoked them. They threw a bottle, for crying out loud. Hale's eyes flicked to him. Mr. Carter, I'll hear your perspective too, but right now I need Ziri to answer. Ziri blinked slowly. Humans shouted hostility at me. I did not retaliate, I withdrew as Alex instructed. My glow brightened in defense, but only briefly. I caused no harm. Hale studied them carefully. So you claim you acted in self-control? Yes, Ziri said simply. Silence filled the room. Alex's hands tightened on the table. He hated this. Ziri treated like a suspect when all they'd done was try to live peacefully. Finally, Hale spoke again. Ziri, why Earth? Why live among us? Ziri's glow pulsed faintly. Because humans are fascinating. You are fragile, yet strong. Primitive, yet creative. You shape machines, cities, and even stories. I wish to understand how such contradictions exist in harmony. Hale frowned. And you don't intend to share this knowledge with your people, for your advantage? Ziri shook their head. Knowledge shared is not advantage. It is growth, for both species. Alex felt a swell of pride at Ziri's words. Hale tapped her tablet again. Mr. Carter, why did you agree to live with an alien? Alex hesitated, then spoke firmly. At first, it was just circumstance. I needed a roommate. But now, Ziri's my friend. They're different, sure, but in the best ways. They make me notice things I take for granted, like how amazing it is that plants grow from sunlight, or how laughter can confuse and connect people at the same time. Ziri doesn't just study us. They remind us who we are. For the first time, Hale's expression softened. She leaned back in her chair. "You two clearly have a bond," she said quietly. "That matters." The door opened, and one of the officers stepped in, whispering something in Hale's ear. She nodded, then stood. "Stay here. I'll be back." When she left, the room fell silent. Alex turned to Ziri. "You're doing great. Just keep calm." Ziri tilted their head. "I feel uncertain. Your people question me as though I am dangerous." "Am I dangerous, Alex?" Alex shook his head quickly. "No. You're curious, not dangerous. The problem is, people fear what they don't understand. It's not fair, but it's the truth." Ziri's glow dimmed slightly. "Fear is powerful." Alex reached out and touched their arm gently. "Yeah, but so is trust, and I trust you." The words hung in the air, steady and warm. Ziri looked at Alex for a long moment, then nodded slowly. "Trust is stronger than fear. I will hold to that." Moments later, Hale returned. Her face was more relaxed now. "We reviewed your case. There's no evidence you've caused harm. You're free to go." Alex let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "Thank you." Hale paused at the door. "One warning, though. The city is on edge. Not everyone is ready for aliens living among us. Be careful, both of you." They left the building and stepped into the cool night air. Ziri floated silently beside Alex, their glow steady again. Alex stretched his arms. "Well, that could have gone worse." Ziri's eyes turned toward him. "You defended me. You spoke as if I was part of you." Alex smiled. "That's because you are. We're in this together." For the first time in days, Ziri's glow shone brighter, bathing the sidewalk in soft light. "Together," they repeated. As they walked home, something shifted between them. The fear from the protests, the tension of the interrogation, all of it had tested their bond, and they had come out stronger. But the test wasn't over. The next morning, Alex's workplace was buzzing with news. Overnight, a video had spread. Across the net, shaky footage of Ziri in the plaza, their glow pulsing bright while the crowd shouted. The clip was taken out of context, making it look as though Ziri had threatened the humans. People were arguing online. Some demanded Ziri be removed from the city. Others defended them, pointing out that no one was harmed. The debate was everywhere. On the news, in offices, on the streets. When Alex arrived at work, his manager pulled him aside. "Look, Alex, I know you vouch for your roommate, but this is big. People are scared. You need to be careful." Alex clenched his jaw. "Ziri didn't do anything wrong." "I believe you," the manager said softly. "But the world doesn't always care about the truth. It cares about the story it sees." That evening, Alex told Ziri about the video. The alien listened quietly, their glow dim. "So, I am seen as threat," Ziri said. Alex shook his head firmly. "No, you're being framed as one. There's a difference, and we can change that." Ziri looked doubtful. "How?" "By showing people who you really are," Alex said. "Not a glowing alien in a shaky video, but someone who cooks, laughs, learns, and helps. Someone who makes life better." Ziri studied him for a long moment, then nodded. "Yes. Show them truth. Show them trust." Alex grinned. "Exactly." And so they made a plan. They would not hide. They would not retreat. Instead, they would live openly, proving day by day that an alien and a human could not only share an apartment, but also share trust, laughter, and a future. As Alex went to bed that night, he realized something. The fight ahead wouldn't be easy. But he wasn't afraid anymore. He had Ziri at his side, and together they would face whatever came next. And for the first time since the protests, Alex felt hope. Not just for himself and Ziri, but for the future of humans and aliens living side by side.